Well, ladies and gentlemen, promises made and promises kept. Tag team competition up next. Double the Steiners with Scott and Rick, the Steiner brothers, facing Eddie and Ray, the Gunz brothers. Well, now, a whole lot of brotherly unlove going on here.
This next tag team contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from Detroit, Michigan, at a combined weight of 560 pounds, Scott and Rick Steiner, the Steiner brothers.
Oh, man, I forgot about the Steiners and the loudest, most obnoxious entrance music in the entire world. Anyway, I'll just shout over those stupid sirens. Scott Steiner is fresh off a loss to Jinder Mahal at Rage and joins us here with the dog-faced gremlin Rick Steiner beside him, all set to try and get a win off the Gunz brothers, Eddie and Ray.
And every single one of the guys in this match is a former tag team champion. No way does this match suck.
Their opponents accompanied by Angie Angel-Gunz from the Bronx, New York, at a combined weight of 475 pounds, Mr. Ringside Annie Gunz, and El Jefe Ray Gunz, the Gunz brothers.
Angie Angel-Gunz joining her dad Eddie and Uncle Ray at ringside tonight for this tag team dust up with the Steiner brothers and Mr. Ringside and El Jefe, certainly not intimidated by the Steiners or their reputation. Eddie and Ray may respect the Steiners and all they've done in the business, but it won't stop them from attempting to pummel the Steiners into submission.
Not as much fan support tonight for the Gunz boys, with a lot of the people here in Atlanta supporting the Steiners.
All right, as we choose up sides here, it looks like it's going to be Scott Steiner and Mr. Ringside starting us off in this tag team matchup. The referee rings the bell. Well, look at this. Eddie Gunz off the ropes. Scott Steiner, what the hell is Scott Steiner doing to our referee? Oh, man, hung him up off the top rope. Well, he's in a bad mood. Guess he's still not happy about that loss to Jinder Mahal. Mr. Ringside escorts Scott Steiner to his team's corner. Delivers a series of kicks. Down he goes. Our referee is back. Oh, man. Scott Steiner getting the boots put to him. As Angie Angel-Gunz looks on as Pop drives knees into the chest of Big Papa Pump. Well, okay. Mr. Ringside drives a knee into Scott Steiner's arm, delivers a kick to the shoulder. Gathers Scott Steiner up slowly. Scott Steiner sweeps the leg, rounds up Mr. Ringside and instead goes behind. German suplex from the Big Bad Booty Daddy. Scott Steiner with a clubbing overhand right over Mr. Ringside, winds up the arm. There's an elbow drop across the back of the head of Eddie Gunz. Scott Steiner turns it over to his brother. Here comes the dog-faced gremlin, Rick Steiner. Rick Steiner going to work on Mr. Ringside, delivers a series of kicks and stomps. Eddie Gunz trying to fend him off, but no good. Rick Steiner with a leg snap. Rounds up Mr. Ringside again. Has him up in the front cradle, has him up over the... Whoa! Pitched him right to the outside like a bag of trash. Rick Steiner going out in hot pursuit of Mr. Ringside. Drops the leg, but nobody home. Eddie Gunz quickly getting up out of the way. Rounds up Rick Steiner, locks him up. Drives him into the ring steps. And he caught all the corners going down, Eddie Gunz takes himself back inside the ring. Rick Steiner moves back in after him. Look at this. A knee, a right, a left. Rounds him up. Side suplex for Rick Steiner. Eddie Gunz rounds him up. Takes him quickly down. And here we go. Some schoolyard bully pummeling from Mr. Ringside on Rick Steiner. Eddie Gunz takes himself out of the equation. And here comes El Jefe Ray Gunz, Angie Angel-Gunz' uncle. And he rounds up Rick Steiner, snaps the leg again. Looks like they're strategically going to work on Rick Steiner's limbs. Whoa, here we go again, another leg snap. Followed up with a stomp. Oh, look at this. Rebound off the top rope, beautiful moonsault that destroyed the logo, but not Rick Steiner. Okay. Knee to the skull for Rick Steiner. El Jefe gathers him up again. Gets him up over the shoulders. Has him all the way up, and here's payback. Pitched him to the outside. Boom, right to the floor. Ray Gunz admiring his handiwork. Rick Steiner's wrecked. Riggedy, riggedy, wrecked. He ain't moving. Referee's counting. Ray Gunz deciding what he's going to do here. All the way up to the top turnbuckle, Rick Steiner. Well, now there's another leg drop that didn't pay off. Well, your coccyx is going to hurt for a while now. Here comes Scott Steiner. Big Papa Pump. Facing El Jefe. They lock up. Kick to the midsection from Scott Steiner. Scott's got him all the way up, setting him up for the power bomb. Escorts him towards the edge, and one more time. Oh, man, not once but twice. El Jefe pitched to the outside over the top rope by the Steiner brothers. El Jefe's not going to appreciate that. In over the top rope. A hard right to Scott Steiner. A rebound off the ropes, and whoa, look at this. A wheelbarrow bulldog. Beautifully executed by El Jefe. A stomp to the shoulder of Scott Steiner. The big bad booty daddy starting to take a little bit of punishment here. Counters, delivers the chop block to the knee, takes down El Jefe. Scott Steiner rounds up Ray Gunz. Oh, look at this. Whoa! Countered beautifully with a one-arm slam. And here comes Eddie Gunz. Scott Steiner laid out center ring. Rebound off the top. There's a moonsault that sure paid off. Oh, well, yeah, like I said, the Gunz brothers are all out of patience, and we're only a few minutes into the match. Here comes El Jefe again. Scott Steiner just got himself choked by Mr. Ringside, catches a kick to the back and a stomp to the midsection and a stop kick to the chest. El Jefe rounds up Scott Steiner. A rebound off the ropes, gets him by the ankles, and there's the whirligig. Big Papa Pump goes for a ride. Ray covers one, but only a one. Scott Steiner not prepared to give up just yet. Rick Steiner's hot for that tag. He's reaching for his brother. Here's a kick to the back from El Jefe. Ray Gunz rounds him up. Up in the front cradle, slams his back into the apron, spins him out center ring right into the heart of the logo. Stomp. Ray Gunz rounds him up again. Scott Steiner counters, slams El Jefe face first into the canvas. Scott Steiner rounds him up. Look at this. Bad news, pump handle slam. And here comes Rick Steiner, the dog-faced gremlin again. Whoa, back body drop for El Jefe and a kick to the back of the head from Rick Steiner. The dog-faced gremlin with a spinning neck breaker on El Jefe. Gathers him back up again. Locks him up. This ain't gonna be good. Has him all the way up, and a long vertical suplex. Takes El Jefe right down to the canvas again. Rick Steiner drives an elbow into the head of Ray Gunz. And drives a knee into the head of Ray Gunz for a good measure. The dog-faced gremlin pitches him up and slams him down. Here's Scott Steiner again on the tag. El Jefe trying to beat it out of town. Here comes Mr. Ringside on the hot tag, and well, let's see where this goes. Scott Steiner with a kick to the midsection. Sets him up, another side suplex. Scott Steiner gathers up Mr. Ringside. Locks him up. Escorts him towards the Steiner brothers' corner, head first into the turnbuckle. And here we go. Scott Steiner's warming up that elbow. Boom, clothesline. Right across the throat of Mr. Ringside. And here comes Rick Steiner again. Both teams tagging real efficiently. Rick Steiner rounds up Mr. Ringside. Has him all the way up. There's another long vertical suplex from the dog-faced gremlin. Rick Steiner drives an elbow into the head of Eddie Gunz. Rick Steiner with a stump puller. Stretching the leg of Mr. Ringside. Eddie Gunz needs to get out of this situation. Finally succeeds in doing it. Kick to the midsection for Rick Steiner. A knee, a right, a kick, and a spinning kick that drops him like a bad habit. Rick Steiner now on the receiving end, getting knees to the leg from Eddie Gunz. Eddie makes his way out, and here comes El Jefe Ray Gunz. Rick Steiner favoring that knee. He got tagged pretty good. Oh, here we go. Mr. Ringside and El Jefe rallying the crowd here. Beautiful kick right to the head of Rick Steiner. And a Hurricane Rana from El Jefe, who covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2, but, well, Scott Steiner right there to break it up. Kick to the midsection for Rick Steiner. El Jefe with a DDT on Scott Steiner. Both Steiner brothers taken down by El Jefe. Here's a, oh man, double leg drop to Rick Steiner. Scott Steiner with a right puts El Jefe up against the ropes. Ray counters with a shot to the midsection, backs off Scott Steiner, takes him quickly down. Here we go. He is winding it up, and there's the figure 4 leg lock. Rick Steiner absolutely helpless to aid here, and he goes after Rick Steiner too. Counter shot from the midsection to the midsection from Rick Steiner, winds him up. Russian leg sweep for El Jefe. Scott Steiner is still laid out. Rick Steiner drives a knee into the arm of Ray Gunz, delivers a kick to the back of the shoulder. He gets back up. Here's a kick from Ray. Here's another kick. And a moonsault for Scott Steiner that doesn't pay off. Catches knees to the midsection. Perhaps trying to take on both Steiner brothers at the same time. Not a good idea. Well, Rick Steiner with a vertical suplex on El Jefe. Slams the arm to the canvas. Rick Steiner rounds up Ray Gunz. There's a headbutt that drops Ray Gunz instantly. Ray rounded up to his feet again by Rick Steiner. Oh man, look at this. Nasty scoop slam. And here comes Scott Steiner again. Well, this one has gone a little bit back and forth. Kind of leaning towards the Gunz brothers, but the Steiners are giving them a tough time. There's a stomp to the face. El Jefe counters with an elbow. Ooh, wow, he doubled him over pretty good. Knees to the skull for Scott Steiner. And here comes Mr. Ringside again on the tag, and well, Scott Steiner has just been busted open. The big bad booty daddy not having a good week around here. Oh man, big running kick from Mr. Ringside. Takes Scott Steiner down. Oh, look at this. Eddie Gunz winds him up by his leg, has him up over the shoulders. There's that spinning Samoan drop. And down goes Scott Steiner. El Jefe comes in on the tag. Scott Steiner is laid out. El Jefe quickly taking advantage, covers 1, 2, 3, and that is it. The Gunz brothers defeat the Steiners by pinfall, and wow, what a surprise.
The time, 10 minutes and 13 seconds. Your winners by pinfall, the Gunz brothers.
Well, looking back at what we just saw, Eddie and Ray taking it to Scott and Rick Steiner in pretty impressive fashion, picking themselves up a 3-count pinfall win as the Gunz family dynasty celebrates with a little bit of a high five.
Mr. Ringside and El Jefe maintaining enough of the momentum to successfully hold Scott and Rick Steiner at bay. And wow, Eddie kicked Big Papa Pump's head for a field goal, nailed him so hard that all Ray had to do was pin Scott Steiner for the 1, 2, 3. And so, it's another step in the right direction for the gold-hungry Gunz brothers. Our first tag match of the night, a total hit for the fans, and a much-needed win for the Gunz boys.
All right, folks, when we come back, we're going to wrap up the first hour with Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero facing Bret the Hitman Hart. Stay with us. We'll be right back.